Oviedo.
This is Kat and Jeremy West, your local Oviedo realtors, and we have a really great video for you today.
That's right. Today we are going over the good, the bad, and the ugly of Oviedo. We're going to give you the pros and the cons of living here.
That's right. Nothing but facts, or I guess in this case, opinions. But as always, feel free to like the channel. If you're thinking about moving to Oviedo or around, you can reach out to us anytime. And let's get right to it. Let's start with the pros.
Number one is the small town feel.
Yeah, and this is special because when I first visited Oviedo, it reminded me of the town I grew up in Ohio, where a lot of people know each other, but it's got a little twist to it. They have the downtown Oviedo on the park, which is restaurants and coffee places and stores and kids clubs
and it's really developing. So it's the best of both worlds. You have that small town feel. You can still see chickens roaming the streets in some areas, but then you have all of these new restaurants and businesses that are going into the downtown Oviedo on the park, which you can check out another video.
We have a ton of videos on the restaurants downtown. They had the food factory coming up with 8 new restaurants. So it's one of the only places or suburbs around Orlando that offer that. I mean, I would say like a Winter Garden feel.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? You have to go further out, like Mount Dora, DeLand maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah, but you still have that feeling of a lot of the people in Oviedo who live here a long time. So before it was what it is today, this was a place that it was farmland. It was cow pastures. I mean, I grew up in Longwood, and we drive through here to friends out here to their parties in the middle of the woods. Right, pro number 2.
The people. There is actually Southern hospitality in Oviedo, and that is one of the first things that people pick up on when they come here. You know, Orlando is very much known for a place where people move to. They don't know where they want to move. They move around from place to place. But in Oviedo, most of the people that you meet here have lived here for a long time.
Yeah, they stick around. People aren't moving too often. And I've also found personally that the moms groups here are a big thing. I mean, there are so many moms groups, ways to connect, playground that you can get involved in here. Pro number 3, this is a big one, the Seminole County School District.
Yes, according to niche.com, it is the number 5 or number 4 county. Number 4? Mm-hmm. Number 4 rated school county in all of Florida. That is big because in Central Florida, if you take the whole picture, it's the only one in like the top 15 or 20.
Yeah, in Oviedo, if you check on niche.com, currently all of the schools in Oviedo are rated in the A's.
Yeah, and so Seminole County would include Oviedo, Winter Springs, Lake Mary, Longwood, and Sanford.
All right, that brings us to pro number 4, location, location, location.
That's right. And there's a lot of things we could talk about here. So, you know, we're right off of the 417. For those of you who aren't familiar, the 417 cuts from about Sanford, right on I-4, all the way down to past Disney World. So if you want to avoid I-4, which is a good thing sometimes, it's a great interstate where you can get to and from things very quickly.
Another thing to add about the location is how close in proximity we are to the beaches. So Daytona, New Smyrna, and Cocoa Beach, we are less than or right within an hour distance. And like we mentioned, some of the surrounding areas are Longwood, Lake Mary, Winter Park is really close by. They have a lot of great restaurants and shopping. Yeah. What else?
No, I think hit on Winter Park a little bit. For those who aren't familiar, it's got a really cool, Park Avenue. Yeah. Awesome restaurants. Some of the more high-end restaurants for all of Orlando, really. So that's a very short drive from here. About 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah,
right? Depending on traffic,
you can get to the edge of Winter Park in 15 minutes, to the center of it in about 25, 30 minutes. But it's very hip and stylish place to hang out and go have dinner.
And then kind of the opposite end of the spectrum is downtown Sanford. Downtown Sanford is quickly becoming one of my favorite places to go because they have a lot of the, I would say, hipster bars and restaurants. Can I say hipster?
You can say hipster. I can say You're hipster. A dad and you're cool.
But it's on the water. It's beautiful. Great food options. What else?
Oh, they've got the Sanford Zoo as well. So that's a great place to check out that's close by.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of places close by. Pro number 5, the nature here and the Seminole Trail.
Yes. So this is kind of a collaboration, I would say. If you can go out, walk trails, go to lakes, there's so many different preserves, but you can also live in places where you have forestry and wood. Forestry? Is it
Forestry. You can say forestry.
Forestry behind you.
Yeah.
You know, like I ran into I don't know what it was, like a bobcat or what are the other things? Jaguars. I don't know what it was. I was scared. It ran away, thank God. But
yeah, we have trails. So we have the Seminole Trail, which is a pathed trail, and a lot of people go biking on it. And then we also have little econ, so it's more of a hiking trail, and you'll see the river where you can go canoeing as well.
It's big, but it's little. I don't understand that.
Why is it called that? I don't know.
Black Hammock is on the water, Lake Jessup. So a lot of you people wanted to move here. Don't worry, but it is the most populated alligator lake in the entire world.
That might be a con for some people, but
they don't come out and get you as long as you don't mess with them.
We've never been eaten by an alligator, so.
I won't go on the airboats, though, but she wants me to.
I really want to go on an airboat. Well, I've already been on an airboat ride, but.
So we'll get some video of that, actually. I'm going to put some video in the...
I'll get on the airboat without it.
No, I'm not getting on the airboat. All right, so that pretty much top 5, I would say. There's a ton. A lot of this is preference, so feel free to comment below if you have some other stuff that you really like. We don't want you to feel like it's just our show. It's your show, too. Okay, we're moving on to the cons.
All right, con number 1 is the development of Oviedo.
Yes, and I know what you're thinking. You're realtors. You love development. Well, not in the places we live all the time. And quite frankly, we hear a lot of the locals bring this up a ton. The restaurants and the businesses, it does make it a fun place to come, but it also brings a lot of new apartment buildings.
Yeah, there have been several apartment buildings that are going up right off of Redbug, Mitchell Hammock. So just makes it more congested. And like I said, when I grew up here, down the street, coming out here was cow pastures. So people who have lived here a long time,
they get mad.
It's a con.
All right, so that leads us into number 2, the traffic. Beep, beep, beep.
It's crazy. Okay, so we're saying this as a con, but I need you to also know that I lived in Los Angeles. And he lived over by Dr. Phillips.
And Tampa.
Where traffic was a real legitimate problem.
Yep. So
people in Oviedo complain about traffic, but they need to put on their big girl panties because on Redbug, that's...
Yeah, it's a thing. They are expanding some of the roads too. So when you live in East Oviedo, and we just have to get off at downtown, and realistically it's bumper to bumper, but I'm only in traffic for 6 minutes. Now going further east into Oviedo, you deal with some of that, but it's not what you might be thinking if you're moving from a place like California or New York or even Dr. Phillips. Sorry, I love you, but the traffic is just a nightmare.
It is.
Con number 3, for all you party animals like me, or at least I used to be.
Look at his shirt.
I still got it.
That's party animal.
Don't get it twisted. I still got it. The nightlife. The nightlife and entertainment here, it's getting better.
Well, so we have these monthly events. Like Oviedo on the Park puts on great monthly events. But for, a Friday or Saturday night, if you want to go out and have a high-end dinner experience or go to a comedy club or something.
Yes, which turns out to be a good thing sometimes because you can't always afford those high-end dinner experiences. But yes, the really 5-star restaurants like the Winter Parks, and if you want to go out on a Valentine's date, it might not be the most romantic dinner place to go to.
Yeah, we don't have fine dining experiences here.
But we do have good food.
We do have
Don't want to
really
get that
good,
twisted.
yeah, we do have really good food, but just not the fine dining experience or the nightlife experience.
Okay, so that gets us to con number 4, something that realtors like us just hate. It's the worst. There's like no inventory here if you want to move here.
I mean, I know we're, telling you to let us know if you want to move here, but there's no houses.
There's houses. We're making that.
We're being dramatic.
But please, if you want to move, sell your house, call us. We need some more inventory. People want to move here.
The inventory is very low. Like we said, like people stick around in Oviedo. They don't typically sell their homes unless, their kids are gone or, whatever their reasons are. People don't leave.
Yeah. So when they do leave, we will find your house. We promise you that. But you have to understand, when you're dealing with other places in Orlando that have all this new construction, here in Oviedo, you're going to find the perfect location, but you might have to do some of your own updating. So, you get with a really great local realtor like, I don't know, us, and we can help you with the rehab and that sort of thing.
Yeah, there's only a handful of like new construction communities, which are closed out, but they would be newer homes.
Yeah, there's a few. And of course, you have Winter Springs. So Winter Springs, we're going to do some more videos on that soon, because that is kind of like Oviedo's brother or sister, whichever way you want to go. But it's awesome too, and it's very similar, and it's got great housing and a lot of cool stuff there too. So that is an option where if you open that door, then you will have a ton of stuff to choose from. Okay, so that leads us to what we thought was going to be our number 5, but we're out of reasons. We can't think of any more things that we don't like about Oviedo.
There's only 4.
Yeah, realistically, we're going to mention maybe pricing, but we were just talking in comparison to places like Lake Mary and Lake Nona and Winter Garden. It's very similar. And, when you move to Orlando, if you want to move to one of the more popular areas, you're going to pay a little bit more.
Yep. With low inventory comes higher prices.
Yeah. So anyways, we hope you enjoyed the video. Look out for our next video, because we got something really special for you. But in the meantime, subscribe, like, comment, tell us what you hate, tell us what you love.
We'd love to hear from you. Bye, Oviedo.